I need sunglasses, huh?
Yeah.
Where did mine go? I feel like I just had them.
It's really not necessary, but as general good practices, you should always shoot with eye protection on.
No, I want to wear eye protection, but I just don't know where it went. They're on my head. Of course. You're gonna put it on that tree?
Just trying to figure out the right tree.
I didn't really want to walk down the hill, but I thought that tree would be pretty good.
What tree?
That like burnt one, like kind of on the slope. Pointed down.
No, because I want to go like this.
It's not a problem if we shoot so close to the car. It's not gonna like hit the tree and then.
No. Chase, have you shot a rifle before?
I don't know. I don't think so, really.
How do you feel?
I shot a handgun this summer. I've shot a shotgun once in my life, a long time ago when I was probably like 10 years old.
So this will be your first rifle? I think rifles are the coolest gun. A lot of people would disagree with me on that fact, but
Why do you think? Why?
just they're awesome guns. They're precise and they're powerful and they're precision tools and they're useful for killing big things.
That they are. So am I gonna shoot my rifle or yours?
You're gonna shoot.
Or they're both yours?
We'll both shoot both of them.
Okay.
So just grab that rifle
And the pad?
and the pad. Yeah.
Ready to get prone?
Yep.
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Really?
Well, just to show you.
Oh, so I'm gonna have to know how loud it is before I shoot.
Yes.
I've been inclined to maintain ignorance, so I'm not like afraid of it when I shoot.
You're not going to be afraid of it. Okay, Chase, I can tell you what's going to happen. It's going to go bang, and it's going to push against your shoulder. That's it. Done.
I'm not concerned that we're shooting like right past the truck.
We're not shooting right past the truck.
Okay, we're shooting to the right more.
Muzzle in safe direction.
I got you. It's gonna go bang.
And it's going to push against your shoulder.
Oh shit, it's my shoulder.
That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of. That's it.
But the bang is it's
It's going to go
bang. And the push against the shoulder is sort of like getting punched in the arm, or no?
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
I think we'll only be able to shoot at the left one.
Okay, I'm putting my earbuds
Can I have the pad?
What?
Can I have the pad?
Oh, you want the pad too?
Well, we're going to lie down to...
I thought the pad was maybe just for this gun. Yeah.
All right, so remember I told you get...
What?
You can come up here.
No, I'm fine back here.
Hold.
You're taking the tape off?
Yeah,
Why?
because sometimes it'll kind of spray around, and I just don't want to deal with it. It's gonna get blown off anyway. It's gonna get blown off anyway.
Yeah, I get it.
Here, this won't do. You can't be afraid. Just come up. Like I'm not okay with. You can't be afraid. You can't.
I'm not afraid. I'm playing it up a little bit, but the noise is just.
I mean, it's gonna be loud, and that's it. So you get behind it. Remember, pull the bolt back. Load one into the chamber. It's currently on fire. So this is live. This is a live gun. Now, come here. You got to check. Come here. Make sure that you're dialed correctly. Sometimes you'll have dialed it from a previous shot, but let's say you're just like at close range and you know you don't need to dial. Check that it's back on 0. You see that?
Yeah, 0.
And this windage should be on 0.
0. Because we're pretty close.
Yeah, we're not going to be adjusting for wind on this shot.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, yeah, this is your zoom right here. So normally if you're just trying to like find an animal, you know, in your scope, because it can be hard, even if you know where the animal is, to locate it in your scope. So turn it down. My recommendation is to turn it down to like 2, because that's the widest field of view. And then if you need to, you can crank it up to pick your spot more precisely, the zoom. But if I were you, I would never go past like 8. It gets harder and harder to see through the scope once you get higher magnification. Gotcha. I'm going to shoot on 16 just because that's what I'm comfortable with, but you don't need to do that. All right, so now I'm going to shoot. You can stand up if you want.
I flinched.
You can't flinch. It's very important that you do not flinch.
Here? Standing
when you're
behind
shooting.
you? Oh, yeah, when I'm shooting. Well, I think when you're shooting, you have a little bit better of a sense of when it's going to go off.
Yeah.
That wasn't so bad.
No. Goes bang and pushes against your shoulder. So.
My heart's going a little bit, but it like passed quickly. It was like loud and then it was over.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing to be afraid of. So that's a...
Okay, the safety's now on.
Why'd you just turn the safety on?
Just because
Okay.
I like to be safe.
Now turn it off.
Wait, can I just like look through the scope first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And get in position?
So the butt, you want it to be real nice and solid right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see the left one. It's real close to the mountain there. Is that okay?
The mountain?
Or like this, the hillside?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want a different rock, like you feel like it'd be easier for, you can get a higher one or.
No, I think this rock's fine. I just need to move it.
So this hand, rest it underneath the button to kind of stabilize you like that.
Yeah, that's good. So that's not going to fly back and hit me in the face, huh?
As long as, Chase,
Yeah.
you're tight here.
Yeah, I am pretty tight here.
Okay, as long as, if this is loosey-goosey,
Yeah.
it can come back and hit you in the face. As long as you're tight, and you don't need to pull it too tight, just solid, I would say.
All right. I think I'm ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Whoa.
What are your thoughts?
It fired quicker than I thought. In terms of, like, you know, when I was pulling the trigger, I thought I had some time, so it snuck up on me a bit. But the kick wasn't too bad, and neither was how loud it was.
Yeah.
It just surprised me because I wasn't quite
It should
sure how
surprise you.
sensitive it was.
It should surprise you. That means, to tell you the truth, that means that you executed a good trigger pull.
Yeah, I pulled slowly.
Yeah.
I also, like, it's hard to tell how accurate the shot was because it was like
Here, we'll
lined
stand up. Go look at how
because
accurate.
it was like lined up, and then like I can't quite remember in my mind if it was lined up when it shot, because the shot feels like it exists out of time for me. Like I don't, I can't.
Well, let's go look.
Okay. Wow, I'm still like feeling a little bit of the adrenaline.
Yeah. There we go, man. We're in business.
Yeah,
Those are 2 dead deer.
those were good shots.
Deader than dead.
Those were really good shots.
Yeah.
I want to take a photo of that.
Yeah.
Damn.
There you go, man. Try for the freckle.
You want to take my gun and I'll pack the pad up?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was cool. I'm glad we did that. I actually regret wanting to feign ignorance for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's demystified to me now, and I do feel more confident if we hit on an animal.
Yeah.
Whew. All right. It's a clear creek. I do think we should jump into the body of water before we go to the next spot. You can watch. Oh, I'm happy with that. I wonder if there's gonna be water in it. It's a big drink. At least a little.
I feel like Happy Camp was something that needs to be talked about.
Okay. What happened in Happy Camp?
You'd probably describe it better than I would. How would you describe the vibe driving in and what your impression of the town was? Just first impression driving through.
I mean, it just seemed pretty shuttered at first.
The whole thing was shuttered.
A lot of empty storefronts. It seemed like more people were living in RVs than in like actual houses, which is whatever, you know. That was the vibe. There was a hippie element in the beginning.
Extremely small
Very small.
and poor. Is
yeah.
very small, poor town, and it was like dilapidated.
Yeah. But then there were like nice trucks zooming around, and there seemed to be that nice market. They had the most exceptionally exquisite Bigfoot statue we've ever seen.
The greatest Bigfoot statue of all time, easily. But the reason we're going in is because we need to figure out what's going on with our brakes, because our brakes were smoking and they were burning and they were smelling and you couldn't really use them anymore.
Yeah, that was the other thing about the brakes is they weren't just smoking, they stopped working a little bit.
See, I can't speak to that, but you really
It felt that way.
Yeah.
It felt like when they were hot, they weren't working as well as when they were not.
Yeah.
And so we had the smell, we pulled over. You took the ammunition out of the guns because we're driving on the main road. I dumped the cards. And we drove into Happy Camp.
I expertly diagnosed the problem that we were facing.
You passed some test that you're taking that I'm not sure of. Ooh, this is pretty. You diagnosed it.
And then we met the tweaker lady.
Seeming tweaker, we pull up to this empty parking lot. She has jorts on, a tank top, a red bandana, and she's on a bike. And she just get out of the car, and I ask her, hey, do you know where we can maybe have our car looked at? We have some brake issues. And as she's biking around her car in circles,
Like maniacally. Like wasn't that like almost like in a threatening way?
it was very menacing.
You've got that impression too.
Oh yeah.
Because on one hand, all she was doing was riding her bicycle.
I can't say I was ever like really
But you know what's weird is if
but it
someone
was
talks
menacing.
to you, don't you stop your bike and talk to them?
Possibly, yeah.
Like
Yeah. It's definitely like
look them in the eye and you stop and you talk to them.
You're definitely projecting a certain air if you just bike around someone in circles who's talking to you or trying to talk to you. And then she just looked at me and she was like, oh, you're having a hard time stopping, huh? And I was like, oh, well, yeah, actually, it was a little hard to stop. And then she biked around us some more, and I was like, so do you know anywhere we can go? And she's like, they give out free lunches here at this place right here. And I was like, oh, interesting. And then she kind of like biked over to that spot, and I followed her because I wanted to see if I could ask someone in this place. And it seemed like they had a covered California sign. It seemed like a health center or something, you know, a place where you could get medical care. But then there was a sign right on the window that said, we do not give out free lunches.
So she was dead wrong.
I don't know if she was wrong or right, but the sign was contradicting what she said. Maybe someone there gives out free lunches, but there was a sign that said, we do not give out free lunches.
And her sole comment about this institution was that they gave out free lunches.
Yeah. So then she bikes back to the car, and I follow her, and then she does another lap, and she looks at me, and she's like, you ever have white powder in your nose after snorting something, and you have to go like this to get rid of it? And then she like moved her finger across her nose, which then kind of recontextualized the first thing she said, which was, sometimes you can't slow down, can you? Or something. What if she, something like that?
No, she said you're having trouble
slowing down. Yeah. So that, don't run over the poor quail. So that made me think she was somehow like relating to us, because like maybe she's not able to slow down on the powder.
That's not somewhere I would ever go with it, but yeah.
I'm trying to think about this holistically here as but anyways, then we just got in the car and drove away.
Yeah, she scared me. Well, no, because you
then I went
to go talk to the lady inside the health clinic,
Yeah.
and I stayed by the car, and she like drove around me a couple times. And I'm thinking,
did she say anything to you at the moment?
no, she just circled around me.
I liked
And I was done talking to her. But I was, at this point, I'm registering like not fear, but like I need to be aware of this situation. Like this girl could be like have bad intentions, or you know what it is? This girl's unpredictable.
Yeah.
She's most people, you can kind of predict what the range of behaviors they might exhibit at any one given point in time are.
Yeah.
You could not say that for her. Her range of potential behaviors is much wider than a typical
Yeah,
person.
I wasn't quite sure what she was going to do either.
But
you said something interesting. You said, well, as long as she doesn't have a firearm, we're okay.
I said, I think I'm pretty sure I'm safe as long as she doesn't have a firearm. Because I was thinking, I actually thought, like, if she has a bladed weapon, how would I do? And I thought I would probably do okay.
So you were really thinking she was about to attack?
No, I just was being prepared for in case, because again, so unpredictable.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah, I sort of knew she was all performance. I think, or that's maybe I was being optimistic, but I was just like, oh, she just has some attitude and she's just giving us she's just messing with us, is sort of what I thought. So then I went to the health center and I asked this woman where the mechanic is, and she said, go up the road to the Bigfoot and turn left. So we drove up the road more and we saw the most beautiful Bigfoot statue. But then what was it? Al's mechanic was closed. Al's was closed. So then we made a U-turn and we went to the Napa parts store. What do you call Napa?
Napa Auto Parts.
Napa Auto Parts.
That's what it's called.
We go in there and you talk to this guy. I kind of fumbled at first and you took over the conversation.
Yeah, and the guy just like looking real country as hell. His overalls, jean overalls.
Very round.
Yeah, rotund.
Kind of red cheeked a little bit.
Yeah, big, beautiful beard.
Yeah, he was very, very friendly. Very kind eyes.
Very helpful, very kind, yeah.
And he told us to go down right to the yellow. He walked outside with us and he pointed to the yellow building about 200 yards down the road. Said, drive down to that building and turn right after you pass it and talk to Robert. He fixed my car once and did a good job. And he said, maybe just give him a tall boy or throw him $10.
Yep.
So at that point I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that was encouraging.
So then we go to Robert and there's no one there. There's like an big empty like Quonset hut garage. And then an office with a barking dog in it. And we knocked on the door, didn't see anyone.
A scary barking dog.
Yeah, that dog it didn't seem like a big dog, but it seemed like an angry dog.
It seemed pretty big to me. I thought it seemed like a pit bull. Just from the face that I saw in the window.
I didn't really see its face.
Yeah.
And then we went into the front, and it was just a laundromat.
With nobody in it either.
What did you say? You said you saw a shower or something?
Yeah, they had a shower
In the laundromat?
Correct.
That what? You could pay to shower?
Paid to use the shower.
And you wanted to do that?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Why is that odd? We've been in the backcountry for like 4 days now.
I just would not want to pay to use a shower in a laundromat when I could jump in Clear Creek.
I would rather use the shower.
That's why we're different. Okay, so then
you walked right into the keep out area, which I thought was a questionable decision.
The gate was
but
open.
It ended up being the correct decision.
So I couldn't find anyone, but then this guy, Robert's German Shepherd, started barking.
No, but you walked through
Yeah.
the gate directly past a keep out sign.
Into a junkyard.
Yeah.
Well, because I saw the RVs in the back, and they looked kind of nice, like someone was living in them. So I thought maybe I would go and see if anyone was back there. And the dog started barking, and then a woman came out of the trailer, and I said, "Hey, we need someone to look at our car." And then I forgot that his name was Robert from the Napa guy.
Yeah.
So stupid, but very me. A name enters my brain and immediately evaporates.
It does for me too, except in that type of situation in which I remember, because we needed to know that guy's name.
So she said, "Hold on," and she walked into this other garage in the back. And then I ran back to you and I was like, "What was that guy's name?" And then I came back, and when she came out of the garage, she said, I was like, "Yeah, we're looking for Robert," and she said, "He's making breakfast." And I said,
Meanwhile, it is 4:30 in the afternoon.
And I said, "Oh, okay. Like, will he be done sometime soon? Like, we're not in a rush. We're happy to hang around." And she said, "1 second," and goes back into the other big garage, kind of Quonset hut thing. And then she comes back out, and she didn't have an answer, so she said, "Come on, just you want to talk to him?" And I said, "Sure." And I walk into this other garage. It's mostly dark in there. I can't see anything else except like a concrete floor and a big, like, what do you call those, like, stoves that are flat? You know, like you could flip like that they have in diners?
Yeah.
It's like one big flat.
It's like a griddle.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, exactly. A big griddle. And he's making about 8 eggs over easy. Or what do you call when you just flip it? Sunny set, whatever, flipping eggs.
Yeah, fried eggs.
Fried eggs. And a big, like a thing of hash browns that's probably like a foot by a foot wide. And a bunch of bacon.
Do you have it in 2?
What?
You gonna throw it in 2?
Oh yeah, smart. Gosh, I almost didn't learn my lesson. And he's like, hey, what's up? And I tell him what's going on, and he starts asking me questions. He asked if it was shaking when I braked. He said, did you test it out on the road? Did you try driving quickly and then slamming on the brakes? And I said, no, we went really slowly. We were worried about driving into the Klamath. And he said, okay. And he kind of like was like, well, and he like gestured towards all the food. He's like, well, I'm making breakfast. And I said, oh, okay, like, well, we can wait. Like, we're not in any rush. He's like, yeah, come back in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So we went and got some drinks. We got some
Cash.
snacks, got cash.
Which he didn't even want any cash at the end of this, which was awesome because he like literally like jacked up the truck, took the wheel off. I don't know, just like lent us his time and expertise, and he lent us his tools, his time, and his expertise, and didn't want anything in return.
But I feel like that's sort of customary, right? Like, if you don't actually do any work, you can't ask for money, but you sort of expect it. You know, you're like, no, like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And then if you don't come forward with no.
But if he was a douchebag, he could have been like, I want $100. Like taking advantage of like a couple like city uppies up here, like.
You would have just driven away if he asked for $100.
No, I wouldn't have.
You would have given $100 for just jacking up our car and looking at the brake.
Chase, we needed his help.
But he had already done all the work and put the tire back on.
Chase, we're in a really small town, very far from home, in an area that you yourself has described as like very wild and kind of lawless, and like a very insular community. Like I would give him $100 easily.
You wouldn't push back at all and be like $100. You would just hand it over.
I might push back a little bit, but like if he was like, no, it's $100, I would give him $100 and get the fuck out.
But in any case, I feel like it kind of shook out how that kind of thing normally does. Where
I just threw him $20 and
yeah, which I think was cool. Obviously, even though we didn't get any work done, I felt the peace of mind that he gave us was well worth the $20.
But we did get work done. He jacked up our truck, he took off the wheel, and he inspected the tires.
Sure.
An inspection is a service that he provided us.
You're right.
We needed an inspection.
I don't know why I'm trying to
from an expert, and he did an inspection for us. He provided us a service.
Sure. Robert came through with the inspection.
Yeah.
And I really trusted him. So he basically just said that we were, the brakes overheated and that they were fine, and that we should just use second gear when we're going downhill next time. And that they got hot because you were going so slowly. So friction is friction. It doesn't really matter how fast or how slow you're going. You can heat up, but if you're going fast, the wind cools the brakes down.
Right.
And we were going so slow on that road, even though we were going down.
And you were riding the brakes for probably the majority of an hour straight.
You should look it up. Like, you can't fish in the North Fork of the Trinity, which is a beautiful river. You can fish in the New River, but only 2 months out of the year. I don't know what the deal is with Clear Creek, but maybe we do have licenses and steelhead cards, so maybe we.
Well, no, I wouldn't want to. If we're not 100% sure, we don't fish.
I like that about you.
Yeah. The thing is, you said I'm a rule follower earlier with respect to like fish and game laws, and I really am. A, because I just have a lot of respect for fish and game laws, and broadly speaking, I have a lot of respect for the fish and game agencies that set the regulations. They've done such a great job restoring wildlife in the United States. So I follow them because I believe that it's right to follow them, but selfishly, I also value my hunting and fishing privileges so deeply that like I just would never want to do anything that would put that in jeopardy.
Yeah. So would you ever fish without a license?
No.
See, I do sometimes.
No. Because I could lose my hunting privileges.
Really? Just by fishing without a license?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a little looser with that. Like, for one, you just really... I've only had my license checked maybe once in my whole life. Two, I'm pretty ethical. I use barbless hooks. I mostly catch and release. And three, I kind of just don't love giving so much authority to the state to control things. I have like a little bit of an anarchist streak in me where I'm just like...
See, I do too, but not in this context.
Who are you, state of California, nation of America, to grant me the right to fish on these lands, you know? Like,
but what if everyone took that approach, you know? I just like...
I mean, you're right. And I mean, there's the other question of like, we're on what is essentially indigenous land right now, and I'm fishing or whatever, you know, and we're hunting, and that also makes me a little bit uncomfortable for other reasons, but I'm not gonna ask them for permission either.
That aspect makes me zero uncomfortable. But yes.
Wow, that pool. Ooh, that might be the pool we jump in, yo. Or we'll keep going.
Yeah, we gotta go up the road.
I'm gonna take it down.
I don't even think that that's Clear Creek.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're right, actually. Yeah. So it makes you like, I don't maybe uncomfortable isn't the right word, but like, it's on my mind that when we were hunting last few days, that we were essentially hunting in what is sacred hunting land to the Karuk people. And that's something that, like, I don't know if I feel, wow.
Holy smokes.
Can you believe that? That is so cool. Look at
Okay, so remember
look at that water.
We don't know if we could cross it.
Oh my god. It's so clear.
Yeah.
We can cross that. Not there.
But what if it's all dug out a canyon like that?
But also, yeah, that's true. But we also don't know if this is Clear Creek.
I think it is.
I guess what I'm saying is I would like to be ultra respectful of... I almost feel like more fealty and more respect to the fact that we're hunting on what is Kurok sacred land than... Like, I feel like we're poaching more in that regard than if we were to hunt there without licenses for California.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's how you feel, so
Yeah.
who's anyone to say how you feel?
No, I'm just
Yeah.
staking out my feeling.
Yeah.
Because and also because I kind of want to work through it. I don't know. It's kind of a weird place to be buying a license from California, but then not really acknowledging.
But like, why can't like us as like our culture treat our fish and wildlife like as sacred as a default and follow the regulations to make sure that we always have it? Because that's why those regulations are put in place.
Yeah.
To make sure that we have abundant fish and game to pursue at our leisure, and our kids, you know, the next generation and the generation after that all have the same abilities. And that's what buying your fishing license does.
I don't know if they're exclusive of one another, right? Like, I think you can pay homage to...
So that's the Clear Creek Trail. Hold on a sec.
This is really cool. I think you can acknowledge that you're hunting on indigenous land and contribute to wildlife management at the state level at the same time. And I would like to see those two things integrated more in the future, you know?
Interesting. So, remember this No Man's Creek
Yeah.
that we talked about? This stuff up here?
Yeah.
So we're right here. It looks like the road doesn't take us into here, which actually could work in our favor. So basically it means that the rest of our time that we have here, we're going to be hunting in here. The road doesn't take us all the way to the end. This is closed right here, and it's a trail from this point forward. So...
Is it? You think I can keep driving?
No, because it says trail.
But it looks like it doesn't necessarily mean we can't drive on it.
Oh, can you get past that log, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, go this way then.
I mean, I agree. A trail I don't normally think of as something you can drive on, but it doesn't say no driving.
Oh, careful. You're gonna have to. You're gonna cut it that way.
Yeah. How am I doing?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Perfect. Wasn't that some of the most beautiful water though you've ever seen from that
yeah.
bridge? Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Clear Creek carved out quite the canyon. We're not going to cross that, I don't think.
And there was one of our plans required us to cross
it. Yeah. So that plan's out the window, I think.
Well, let's cross that creek when it comes. I don't know. The canyon's deep right here, but maybe it rises up into a little bit of a plain. Doesn't that look like you would look down on that and see like Gollum like swimming and hunting fish in there?
Yeah.
You know that scene in The Two Towers?
Yeah.
Wow, that water. Whoa. Okay, dude. Am I okay over there?
Yeah.
This is like exceptionally narrow and steep on one side.
Yes, it is.
Whoa. I really wish we knew the regulation for Clear Creek. I kind of just assumed it was no fishing.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty safe to assume. But you know what we could do? We could swim and look with our eyes and see if we see any steelies in there. That'd be fun. I'm trying to get you in the water.
No, I'm not going to the water.
For someone who likes the cold so much, it's just...
No, but that's different. That's like a shocking cold, you know? I don't want to be shocked.
How am I over there? Just watch my right side, will you?
Yep, you're good. But I like your inclination to want to hug the left side. I'm fully in favor of that.
You think we'll see other cars up here?
I would bet yes.
It is a weekday.
Yeah, it's hard to say. All of my previous experience with this stuff doesn't seem to apply.
What did you say earlier, that the hunting in California is so bad that it's good, or what?
Yeah, it might have gotten to the point where it was so bad that it might be becoming good again.
Just
because no
there's
one goes hunting anymore. So like, it's just one of the few places I feel like left in the lower 48 where you can go on public land during hunting season, during the opening week of hunting season, and not see another soul, not see another hunter, and have vast expanses of public land all to yourself.
Looks like there's a trailhead there, no?
Yeah, stop. California is one of the only places left you can get that on this tag.
Yeah.
That you just don't, that doesn't exist anywhere else.
I mean, that's definitely more my style of hunting. I feel like I care less about trophy or even success rate, and I just want to get into some cool country and feel alone.
Yeah, and I feel like California. No, you should keep going.
Okay.
You know, you just don't. You can get a lot more animals. You can get much better hunting, much more productive hunting, in a lot of other places. But you can't get this level of solitude and just get lost anywhere the way you can in California. Yeah.
So this might be the end of the line, huh?
Yeah, stop. Dude, I actually think you should back up and we'll camp here.
You think that's where we want to camp?
Yeah.
I kind of like it here better, but
Here, just park here,
yeah.
and we'll walk down there and see what's down there.
Do this long enough, and you really start to feel it's like a system. Yeah, you get a method down. Yeah, like even just like the tent and the pad and the gun. Just yeah, it's like. What do you think sleeping on this angle does to your body? I don't understand. Like, is it bad for you to sleep on this angle? Oh, I don't know. Probably not. We're probably gonna wake up with swollen feet. I might not even use my sleeping bag. It's so warm. I know. It's hot. I don't know if I'm even gonna close the fly. Which fly? Oh yeah, why? Somehow the fact that I thought the truck was dead, like tanked, and now that we're back, that twisted fate has given me new energy. Yeah. We're gonna get some good sleep too. It's awesome. My feet sting. Yeah. What do deer smell like? What do what smell like? Deer. Oh. I don't know, kind of. A little bit like just like a barn animal kind of feel. Yeah. Like grassy. Yeah. And sweaty. Yeah. Do you have that like salami and cheese or whatever? Or even though it's just like the bag of nuts or something, if that's easier. I mean, if you want to cut up the salami and cheese, go for it. I don't know if I would go for that. But if you want it, you can. I know they advertise these zippers as like specially, they don't like catch on stuff or like jam or anything like that. Is a zipper a zipper? I don't know, but they say that these ones are like different in some way. If they don't catch on things, they're not as impressive. Yeah. No, they're good. I love this thing. Did you hear those hooves? No. What are you doing? I'm just like struggling, man. What are you struggling with? I'm so hot. I'm really struggling. Sleep outside. Oh, man, it's so hot. That Meat Eater podcast that you sent me. Yeah. Not the Mountain Lion Hazer. They briefly talked about some guy who like hunts naked or some shit. Oh yeah. The fuck? Yeah. He probably hunts in California. God, this is so weird. It's just wild. I love it. I think this is the only way I could hunt. Okay, man. I can't believe there's not even like a breeze. I'm really struggling. Like, what are you feeling? Like, describe it to me. I just don't get it. Like suffocating, like claustrophobic, like it's hard. I feel perfect. Like, I'm not hot, I'm not cold, I'm just perfect. The thing about heat is there's like there's no reprieve. There's crackers there. You don't get a break from it. There's no put a jacket on. There's just hot. If we do get a deer here and we have a cookout and leave on Friday night, what part of it would you cook? Backstraps. Backstrap's the best part. Yeah. So what is that? It's just the meat that goes along the back. Yeah. It's these. Oh yeah. The part on our backs that's the sorest right now. Yeah. How come you never hear of anyone eating the backstraps off of like the nesting? You do. I've never heard of backstraps of beef or anything. It's called loin. It's called the loin. Loin. Oh, that's the tenderloin. Yeah. Oh, why on deer do they call them backstraps? Just different terminology. That's just what hunters call them. What's the soonest after you harvested a deer have you eaten the meat? Like that night, a couple hours later. Wow. On that particular deer, do you know what it was? It was the testicles and the heart. You ate the testicles and the heart off of a deer that you had just killed that day? Yeah. When was that? Texas. By yourself? No, it was actually on a private ranch that our chemical vendor at work, his company owned a private ranch. The company owned it specifically for taking clients out on hunting trips. Wow. That's so Texas. Why the testicles and the heart? That seems so symbolic. Like, did y'all make like a deal right after you each ate a testicle or something like that? No, it's just because they're easily accessible. They don't require a lot of prep work. You can cut them out before you take it to the processor. It's just nice and easy. It's just like you pull them out and you're done. Was it good? Yeah. did you eat them? You normally they're what's called hot buttered buck nuts.
Hot buttered buck nuts.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy, man.
And you just get some butter, just absolutely fucking piping hot. And then you just drop the buck nuts in, and they go, psh, and then you just shake them around a little bit, pour some Frank's Red Hot in there, shake it around a little bit, and you're done. Slice it thin.
That is so demonic. I love it.
What do you mean demonic?
I don't know. It just sounds crazy.
They're kind of fatty, a little bit chewy. They taste a little bit like a blend between bacon and octopus. Like, you know the fattiness of bacon?
Yeah, that's why they call them Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah. They're fatty, but then they have a little bit of chewiness like an octopus.
Wait, where does the semen go? Do you eat
What do you mean, where does it go?
Like, is there semen in the testicles when you cook it?
I don't know.
There has to be.
I don't know the answer to that. Would you try hot butter buck nuts if I prepared them for you? You would?
Once. I do anything wrong.
That's true, you don't not like anything. What's tomorrow?
I have no idea. Thursday. Or Friday. No, Wednesday. Thursday.
I think tomorrow, get up good and early, just give ourselves the best possible opportunity tomorrow morning. If we don't see anything, I say we go back and fish maybe tomorrow evening and tomorrow morning on the Trinity. And then I'll probably head out on Friday evening.
You're gonna head out Friday evening. Okay. Does it make sense to leave at night?
Yeah, I just like to get a little bit of road behind me, you know?
So tomorrow morning's our last shot.
Well, if let's say we don't get anything tomorrow morning, but we're seeing bucks.
Yeah.
We're in deer, right? We've got some deer here, we've got some deer there. Let's give it one more shot in the evening.
Yeah.
Maybe even Friday morning if we're in deer.
Yeah.
But if it's just dead, I'd rather go fishing and try to catch my first Pacific steelhead. And they're called Pacific steelhead.
Yeah, I feel you.
You can get that flame.
Yeah. I have a good feeling about this spot.
I do too.
So what's the plan for the morning?
Here, I'll get up my phone here. Just give me a second. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Okay. So here's where we are. We're in this larger drainage right here. But if you look within this larger drainage, we're at the bottom of, do you see like the width between these? Like this is like a large like flat that we're just about to come up over.
Oh yeah, I see that. It's real wide.
Yeah. And then if you look more closely, you've almost got like a couple saddles here. You know, like there's almost a little saddle right above us.
Is that a gunshot?
Tree.
No.
I almost think there might be a path in that little saddle right there. That's pretty close. That's like a couple 100 feet above us.
Is that how you tell their saddles? Like when two circles are next to each other?
Yeah, like, you know that this is coming up. This is coming up.
Yeah.
But they didn't draw one topo line around it because it's smaller in the middle.
Yeah.
And then, like, look at just like all of this texture in the topography. And even over here, look at this texture. You've got that little rise, this creek right here. There's just like a lot of like look at that, like how they're not even. Like deer like this kind of stuff. I kind of feel like if we could get up onto either just walk a little bit. But just remember, we are trying to catch moving deer in the morning. Right? They're coming down into the creek to bed. Yeah, they're moving through this kind of flat area. It's called No Man's Creek. Yeah, to get to wherever their bedding location is. I'm not saying that we need to go there, but I kind of like that we'll be looking over the creek too, since we've seen them all be. We've seen a lot of deer go down at bedded creeks and creek bottoms. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not necessarily convinced one way or the other, but I am pretty optimistic about that spot right there. I just have this sense that the less we move in the morning, that's just me. We smell incredibly bad. Getting outside the radius of this area just allows us to be into more virgin country. Wherever we go, our smell goes with us. Right, but we are saturating our vicinity. And then if we can get outside of that saturated zone, like we are emanating this for a period of hours and hours and hours and hours. And then you can just pop out of that area and go look at a new area that hasn't been dirtied. Okay. You know what's funny is this probably isn't a good thing, but I just keep randomly I'll open my phone, just click on my mail, click on my work mail. It's not a conscious process that happens. Yeah, I do that. I just open my phone, boom. It's wait, that doesn't do me any good. I don't need that, No, I know what you mean. It's like to have this mind. And I've known that I'm on airplane mode. I know I don't have service. But I still click on it anyway. It's a bodily process at this point, like blinking. Yeah. It's fucked. This is the longest I've not had service for, as long as I can remember. Really? 4 days without any service. Yeah. Yeah, maybe 5. Yeah. It's pretty good. I can't believe how hot it is. This is insane. There's no way I'm gonna sleep tonight. Oh, breeze. Yeah, it's nice now. Have you ever missed a class that you're supposed to teach? Yeah. Definitely. It's gotta be the worst feeling. I only did it once. It was real dumb. But it was over. Was there a good reason there? Oh hell no, I was partying. So not a good reason. A horrible reason. But it was over Zoom, so I just said I had technical knowledge. It was the last class, and everything was done anyway, so it really didn't matter. But I don't know. Do you think that you're a good teacher? What's your teaching style, or your teaching philosophy? How do you approach teaching? Yeah, I think I'm a pretty good teacher. I don't know, it depends on the class. If I have to teach to a test and I don't know the material that well, then I'm not a good teacher. But if I can teach to my students my own inspiration and I like the material, then usually I can get people pretty into it. Yeah. But yeah, it just depends. I'd be interested to talk more about this. when it works, it's really fun. And it's just like, you feel a lot of love, you know? Yeah. But when it doesn't work, it's so draining. You feel I don't know, you feel kind of crushed after it doesn't work. And just drained. Are there any times where, like, you need to teach something for the first time and you're like, fuck, I need to learn this? Like, oh yeah. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna be teaching. Usually I just have them teach themselves. I'll like ask a question and be like, I hope someone fucking knows the answer. But it's tricky because like I've taught so many different kinds of classes. Like I've taught like more political science. I've taught like even like a law class. Really? Yeah. My best class is I teach environmental literature, and that is I'm good at that. That's real fun. Like Rachel Carson. Yeah, that's one of the texts. And you're just at her refuge. Yeah. And then I teach environmental justice. What does that mean? Environmental justice is like, it's the idea that people's experience of the environment is like mediated by like larger social inequalities. So like, poor people of color are exposed to like more environmental harms than privileged people, and it's harder for them to like access healthy, pristine environments. So you just basically study how one's experience of the environment is allocated unequally sometimes because of structural forces. So like, for instance, like a lot of like chemical plants or industrial waste sites and stuff are like sited in like poor neighborhoods or neighborhoods of people of color. And you learn a lot about indigenous like ecological knowledge and yeah, environmental racism, lots of different kinds of things. It's just the intersection of like environmentalism and social justice, basically. Yeah. And I try to teach like a particular like multi-species flavor of that, involving humans, but also sort of extending to multi-species realm too. Like, I would make a parallel here that maybe ties into that. Like, for example, environmental justice from a multi-species perspective could be like, why do we put so much money and investment of like energy and resources and advertising to the charismatic megafauna? And most people, for example, we used to have caribou in the lower 48. A couple of years ago, they blinked out of existence, and nobody gave a fuck. And now they're officially extirpated from the lower 48. Yeah. And like, I think that's kind of a shame, you know? Yeah. Like, everyone's so focused on grizzly bears, which are like kicking ass, and so are gray wolves, and like so much money and time. When in reality, like, they are really doing awesome, which is great. It's cool that they're doing so awesome. But like, maybe we should put some more time and energy into these caribou that just got extirpated for the rest of history. Yeah. Like, where's the justice for those caribou? Yeah. I mean, I think that the grizzly bears are kind of like the privileged ones, and everyone else is like poor people and black people or whatever that just nobody gives a fuck about. Screw their environment. Yeah, I think the way I would think about it is less like justice for a particular species as opposed to another species, but to think about how like the extermination of the caribou might be related to like other social systems, and like that conserving the caribou would be a way of also bringing like certain communities like environmental justice in some way. Like it doesn't. I feel a little uncomfortable, like saying like a species itself, like deserves justice, but like the way that species might be related to like human social systems makes it a multi-species justice question.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it's not like we need justice for the caribous. It's like, can we situate the caribou as part of like a natural cultural system where its flourishing is also related to the flourishing of humans?
So I hear about that. How about this? How about this? Who gets the most worked up about grizzly bears? White people, like in New Jersey or like metropolitan Los Angeles,
Definitely.
New York City. They fucking love the grizzly bear for whatever reason.
For sure.
Probably because they're never gonna have to come across one.
For sure.
But maybe the indigenous people might have historically hunted those caribou, and the indigenous people place a lot of they might place cultural value on like the meat of that caribou. Like, they probably have like a long hunting heritage relating to that caribou as an important food source for them.
There you go.
But everyone spends all their time and money focusing on the species that white people care about. You have no time and money thinking about what maybe the indigenous people historically cared about.
Exactly. Now you're thinking like environmental justice. No, but that's exactly it.
I wouldn't think about that issue in those terms, but when I put the hat on, that's the explanation I came up with.
Yeah, but it makes sense, right? Like it's a valuable conservation strategy.
Yeah.
Another thing that we teach them too is how like a lot of like national parks and like wilderness areas and even like the idea of the wilderness was invented by
You mean federally designated wilderness areas?
Sure. A lot of these species were invented by like big game hunters.
Yeah, 100%.
And a lot of those big game hunters were, especially in the early days, were like white men from like the East who were wealthy.
It's Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, of course, Theodore Roosevelt. But like a lot of types of men and like the model of masculinity is very much premised on like cosmopolitan or like urban, wealthy white men
Yeah, he was in New York City, like,
exactly traveling to quote unquote wilderness to hunt big game, and that's why a lot of these reserves have been created.
Yeah.
But one of the underlying foundational assumptions of this designation of wilderness is that it should be untouched by man, untrammeled
character.
But in order to make that foundational assumption, you have to ignore the fact that indigenous people have been managing that land for thousands of years. And you have to push them out. So one of the main sort of struggles, or one of the main things that we teach is that there's that tension in the very concept of wilderness.
Yeah.
It is, by its designation, it is an injustice.
But they also don't keep people out, right?
Like, for sure. But in national parks, like, you
They
don't
don't have access.
Yeah, they now have access, but historically they didn't. And a lot of times, like, national parks and stuff were created in sacred areas, and now indigenous people are no longer able to hunt and fish in those areas.
Yeah. I will say that you're totally right about the parks. As far as federally designated wilderness areas, I believe that was 1976. The Wilderness Act was passed. So wilderness areas, that was a creation of the 70s. But parks, yeah, all of your points hold perfectly well for parks. That's for wilderness areas, but for parks, I don't really give a shit about parks. Yeah, give them all back to the Native Americans. I don't like it. I don't care. Fuck the parks.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, something has changed over time. Just like a lot of people's very basic understanding is one where there is an intense management, whether it's by indigenous people or white people or whoever. It's untouched by man.
Well, yeah, I completely agree with the questioning of the concept of untouched by man and whether that's wise or just or whatever. Because I think that that's a fiction.
Yeah.
The idea that any place is untouched by man is a complete fiction.
For sure.
It's our responsibility to intelligently manage these landscapes.
Definitely.
But I think you depart from, like, that line of thinking departs from traditional environmentalism, which largely subscribes to this idea that fish need not managed, not touched, and that somehow everything is going to work itself out.
Exactly.
And that's more a conservationist perspective than an environmentalist perspective.
Yeah. No, I mean, the environmental movement is founded on a lot of these myths.
Yeah.
And at its core has been historically anti-native people, anti-First Nation people.
Is that right?
You could argue that.
Surely not explicitly.
Yeah, explicitly. Have you ever read John Muir? That dude was a raging racist.
Yeah.
He fucking hated me. And he's one of the icons of environmentalism.
But I feel like he's kind of fallen out of favor.
Yeah, but it took some time. You know?
Yeah. I actually don't really know as much about, like, John Miller's, like, views or whatever, like, what he espoused. You know, like, I don't know if I would want to or even agree with, like, I don't know if I would agree with his works. I'm sure he probably did some good things. But I don't know if, like, he espoused a view on all places that I would disagree with or agree with. If he said things I would agree with, I would say that just because in one arena of his life acted poorly and had ideas that are reprehensible by today's standards doesn't mean that he didn't also do good things in other areas of his life that he still may deserve praise for.
Yeah. I agree. And ultimately, that's why he's on the syllabus still, you know?
Yeah.
It's because he had some interesting things to say. He was a good writer. He had a kind of romantic, poetic, very personal relationship with the natural world. He had a problematic views of indigenous people, but also his desire to preserve nature as untouched by man. So they're wrapped up in his wilderness ethic, so it's hard to disentangle them.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I agree. I think it's still important to teach him because, one, he's a good writer and he's an inspiring person to read in some ways. But two, I think it's important for students to read it critically in all sorts of ways, you know, and understand that that's the intellectual history of the environmental movement.
Yeah.
And if you ignore that, then you're not gonna be able to critically engage with the underlying assumptions of the movement.
What time was he doing this thing? What time period?
Late, turn of the century,
Turn of the century.
late 19th century, early 20th century.
So he would have been before Roosevelt.
No, they were buds. They knew each other.
So if
He was late in his life. They met in the Sierras.
late in his life.
Yeah.
But, okay. So,
He convinced Roosevelt in part to found the national park system in a way.
oh, that makes sense. That would make sense. Okay, so he was, but it seems like most of his work was like the Roosevelt administration.
Yeah. Because Roosevelt came up with a lot of those ideas before he was president.
Gotcha. Because the Roosevelt administration was the turning point for wildlife in America. I guess it would be hard for me to, like, even if John Muir was like a hands-off, like, anti-hunting guy, it would be hard to criticize him for those views based on what he was seeing at the time, which was the complete, total, and unmitigated destruction of wildlife across the entire country. Like, he was basically working in like the true bad as you could imagine bad. Yeah. It's true. So, like, it's hard to even, like, me to pass judgment on whatever he may or may not have espoused, because he was saying it in such a different time than we're in today. And we didn't even have the structures for wildlife conservation in place that we do today.
Didn't exist at all. It was a slaughter.
Not knowing what they did, and looked around to find that young, each louder than the rest, calling for action, as though he were not there. As though he were not there, the man they killed, the lamb they loved, the stag that spilled, the star above, the ground that bled, the mane that came. And only they say the forest has a way of choosing. Lay your hand upon the ground, you feel the moisture. So give and take, oil and break, bleed and remake, bleed and remake. Become the bear, become the antler, become the hunted. You are the answer. You.
Where do you want to go? One here.
One on the meadow that you like so much, your favorite meadow in the world.
Can you see the meadow from here? Kinda.
Yeah, you need to be just on the bridge.
I thought we were gonna glass near each other, but we can split up.
Well, depends on how you define near.
Yeah, we should be pretty close though.
Versus when you're walking on the road a mile away.
Yeah, no, that's what I didn't want to do again.
50 yards away from each other, 25 yards away from each other.
Yeah.
Well, I think I should take this side because the glassing is more challenging.
I mean, I think this is enough territory for both of us to glass here too sometimes. And we take a look at the meadow.
Yeah, but I just want to kill a deer in that meadow.
That would be pretty cool.
I don't want to be flying blind on that side.
Okay.
And when we walked down that trail, that was a migration group. They're using that trail heavy.
Yeah.
And they should be using it around 7 o'clock this morning, between 7 and 8 o'clock.
Okay. Let's find a place where we can see where we can get the closest to, stay the closest to each other, see the meadow and No Man's Creek. This is our spot, huh? Yeah. How's this feel? We're
Like 250 straight across to those two things.
We're here, man. We're here. This is it. This is the strike zone. Yeah, this is the biggest kill zone we've been in, probably.
This is a good spot.
I think the meadow probably is a kill zone, too.
Devastating kill zone.
Devastating.
I might see if I can get comfortable while sitting on this rock.
Oh yeah, that's your throne. That's your classic throne. You can even shoot on this rock. Put your pad down.
Yeah, I would probably try and rest my gun across the rock.
I want to keep going in a way. Because I don't feel satisfied. And I feel like we're not on the bucks, but like, I feel like we're clicking, we're in a flow a little bit.
We're in a really good area.
Yeah.
Like if I were to do this hunt again, we could literally start from there and set our camp where we did, hunt here this morning and this evening. Then we could move camp up maybe quarter mile, hunt there morning and evening. Then we could move camp up to the pines up there, hunt morning and evening, you know. I think you could spend at least 3 days hunting this drainage.
Really?
Yeah.
There's that many animals.
I think so. This is the heaviest sign that I've seen the entire trip, hands down.
Oh, we saw heavy sign in the first camp. We were going up.
Yeah, I didn't perceive that to be heavy sign. I perceive that as intermittent sign, I would say. I would say that this is heavy sign in here. Right now, our problem is the calendar. We're fighting the calendar.
Yeah, we don't have that much time.
No. And I don't want to. We can't. I just need to get home.
Yeah, I get it.
Just for work. And so, I don't want to have to pack a hunt up here, then pack out camp, then drive out tomorrow morning. And our evenings have not been productive at all. I don't think. The problem is it's so hot in the evenings. I don't think that they're going to get out of bed, and they're getting out of bed until 8 or 9 o'clock. So, my vote, I've never fished for a true Pacific steelhead. The Trinity was really just calling me, man. It was calling me.
On the way home tonight. Now let's fish the tree in the morning.
Yeah, fish tonight, fish tomorrow. Chase, I am going to ask you to drive for me, though. We get back.
Get back where?
Up to the top. I'm going to sit on my spot, and you're going to walk up that creek.
What'd you call it, a Hail Mary?
It's a Hail Mary.
God damn it, I can't believe it's coming to this.
I know.
The only consolation is that I feel like we hunted hard.
I feel like we learned a lot about blacktails on this trip. I learned a lot about blacktails on this trip.
What'd you learn?
Just their patterns. I learned that the mornings are far more productive than the evenings for blacktails this time of year, which makes sense just as purely as a function of temperature.
You didn't see a single deer in
We never saw deer in an evening, but I saw 14 deer in the mornings.
I can't believe I didn't even glass a single fucking deer.
Yeah, the mornings. And then we've learned that their pattern is they bed in these real thick creek bottoms. They spend their days there, and they spend their nights up on the open hillsides where the food is.
All right, let's do it. right behind the buck. What if I'm riding the buck? You got your knife in your pocket, you just slit its throat.
Hey dear, hey dear, hey dear, run up the hill towards Stephen. Hey, oh dear, hey dear, hey dear, driving you up to your death. Driving you out of no man's creek, making much noise as a tire that squeaks. Hey dear, hey dear, hey dear, driving you up towards Stephen. Driving you up the old no man's creek, where two men once took a leak. We stalked them trout, I mean deer, for a good morning week. But we didn't shoot nothing. Hey dear, ooh, were there trout in this whole creek? Wake the hell up, you stupid deer! Get out of your beds! Who eats breakfast in the evening? Who eats dinner in the morning? Get up, get up! I don't want to see no rattlers. I don't want to see no... Ooh. What's that? Come on, Stephen, pull that trigger. Wake the hell up! Woo! Wake the hell up, you dumb, stupid deer! No, you aren't dumb and stupid. You're smarter than we are, and kinda too. Ugh. Ugh. Maybe I'll move to Happy Camp. God damn it. Stephen better cook me breakfast. Woo! There's no deer in here. 1, 2, 3. Oh! That'll wake him up. Woo, Ooh, I'll roll some boulders down this hill. Love doing that. I didn't even have to come down here. I could have just rolled the boulders. God damn. Awake!